This is a gorgeous crowd. How's everybody doing? Good. Thank you for being out here to make clear that we bow down to no king. As we gather here today and all around the country, we face a pivotal moment in our history. I know it seems dark and scary. We're watching families torn apart all around the country. We saw photos of Marines detaining a vet on his way to the VA. We've seen ICE detain citizens. And now we're seeing a world-triggering escalation in the Middle East. And this morning, Minnesota state legislators were hunted down and gunned down. And all of this comes after we watched a genocide unfold in Gaza for almost 2 years, while our elected officials cheered it on or gave mealy-mouthed reasons of why they couldn't oppose the atrocities that we paid for. We did not arrive here in a vacuum, and it's important to understand how we got here so we can change the trajectory of where we go. Our leaders have failed us. Republicans want children to starve and the poor to die, and too many of my colleagues still think that people will magically support us if we just compromise a little more, found that magic road. But compromise on basic rights of people and lack of principles will never win. And all it did was help pave the path towards fascism in our country. And I will say this, remember, this is the reemergence of fascism because we have seen so much of this before. Nothing happening today is new. The illegal detentions, the crackdown on protesters and free speech, the disappearings of people and deportations. In a weird way, it kind of gives me some solace, but it also fills me with fury and deep anger because it's a reminder that everything we see around us is a choice, and it's a choice that we can make differently. And my fury comes from the reality that those who can make the world better are actively choosing not to. But I'm here today to remind myself and all of you that we are not alone. Just look at you. When my community had pushed me to run for office, and for those who don't know, I kind of got bullied into this, I knew I wouldn't be doing it alone. And it was because of them that I had the courage to do this. But now that I'm in it, I see all the time and all the ways that we can make a massive difference. And look, I get it. I was talking with some friends last night about the state of the world, and I told them about how, as someone who's on the inside, the thing that keeps me up at night is to see all of those opportunities that if more people had just shown up, we could have made a huge difference. And here's the thing. They rightfully said, look, there's so much cynicism. People are tired of the corruption, and I get it. I totally get it. But hear me when I say to you today, those who actually engage in that corruption want nothing more than for us to leave them alone. They want us to turn away. They want our cynicism to convince us into inaction. But I'm not going anywhere, and neither should any of you. I'm here today to implore all of you not to allow our cynicism to lull us into inaction. Do not allow this moment of feeling overwhelmed to paralyze you. And again, I know so many people are scared today. I know some of you are seeing the deployment of military personnel, the escalation of ICE, and the targeting of protesters and wondering what power you have. But I'm telling you right now, in this moment, this will be the easiest time to be brave. Right now is the moment to insist on our rights. Right now is the moment to push back on anyone who attempts to normalize this in any way. Now is the time to loudly remind those around us, as close as they are and as far as they are, that none of this is normal. And why do you ask? Because our opposition works. The administration, after ripping families apart, is already shifting who they are targeting. And it's because of all of you showing up in the streets. And I remind you that even those that have been detained for standing up for Palestinian rights, like Rumaisa and Mohsen, have already been released. But we cannot let up until we are all safe, until we are all free. We cannot let up until Mahmoud Khalil is reunited with his child. We cannot let up. We cannot let up until we not only stop the cuts to Medicaid, but make sure we finally have universal health care. We cannot let up. We cannot let up until we not only stop the genocides in the Congo and Gaza and Sudan and all around the world, but also end the endless wars. And we cannot let up until we stop this never-ending march to an increasingly extractionary economy that squeezes all of us for everything that we barely have to benefit some unnamed shareholder who'll never know our stories, will never know our names. So today, I am asking you to think about 3 things and your role in them. 3 places. First, your community. Get to know your neighbors, because if you don't already, it is one of the most beautiful experiences in my life. It is so lovely to know them. And make sure that you build a support system with those literally and physically closest to you. And support your local food banks. Support literally anyone who might need it in your neighborhood. And talk to each other. These algorithms continue to silo us and isolate us from each other, and that is extremely dangerous. Now is the time that we need each other more than ever before. Second, and I gotta say it, y'all, your local politics. My city council member won by 4 votes in a runoff. Getting involved politically, from school boards to state legislators to county parties, is world-changing. It's where you have the most power. And I'm not just talking elections here. I'm talking about committee hearings. I'm talking about school board hearings. I'm talking about every possible hearing you go to. Go and make your voice heard. Because I promise you this, every national policy you have hated has started locally somewhere. And third, take care of yourselves. This is a long, long road. I need us to learn to do this work at a pace that works for multiple years. Figure out what that pace looks like for you. Figure out what you have to offer. If you cook, if you bake, if you're artistic, there is so much of you that you can offer to those around you. Now is the time to lean into that. And I'm going to end with this. To my colleagues all around the country who are reeling from the news in Minnesota, I say again, now is the easiest time to be brave. Too many people want to silence people like us. But now is the time to stand up to them and say, you will not make us cower in fear. Our communities need us more now than ever before, because I promise you, that is where our power is. Today we marched, tomorrow we change the world, and to the cynics that shrug and say, this is the way the world has always been, I remind them to look at history and compare it to where we are today. But also, if a Palestinian can get elected in a state like Georgia, I have a hard time believing anything is impossible. Thank you, Philly. You're a gorgeous crowd.